Stage 3 tax cuts, the talk of the town at the moment within Australia. This will be the first time in a while that we have seen major changes take place to our tax brackets. There was an original plan that we've been following closely, which included stages 1 and 2 already coming into effect, with stage 3, the final stage of the plan, supposed to take effect from July 1st of this year, being 2024. The proposal to implement stage 3 is still underway. However, there has been a significant shakeup as to how much certain individuals will benefit from this adjustment. Have no fear though, it seems pretty good for the most part, and today I'm going to be taking you through the important things that you need to know in order to make the most out of the extra dollars that are going to be hitting your bank account starting from July 1st. But first, let me introduce you to what's going to be the first ever on my channel in over 3 years of making videos, to my sponsor, NordVPN. If you're anything like me, you may love the convenience of having certain subscriptions within your portfolio, like YouTube Premium, Netflix, and maybe even Adobe Creative Cloud. But you may not love paying the full subscription price. Using NordVPN, I have been able to access all of these services at a fraction of the cost. For example, if I signed up to the Adobe Creative Cloud suite within Australia, it would cost me $80 per month, which is approximately $1,000 per year. But by using a VPN to sign up in a different country, like Turkey, I can get the same product for as little as $127 a year. Likewise, with NordVPN, you can access restricted content from anywhere in the world, stream your favorite shows, access blocked websites, and enjoy online content without boundaries. If you're ever overseas but need to access accounts back in your home country, NordVPN's app has got you covered. NordVPN encrypts your internet connection, providing an extra layer of defense against hackers and third parties attempting to intercept your valuable data. Additionally, when connecting to public Wi-Fi at cafes or airports to catch up on emails and browse the web, a VPN secures your data, which minimizes the risk of cyber threats. And here's the cherry on top. NordVPN has been very generous to me, and by extension to you, my viewers. By signing up on a 2-year plan, using my exclusive code, you will receive a huge discount, as well as 4 months for free added onto your subscription, which is pretty wild. Oh, and did I mention that it's also risk-free, because NordVPN offers a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied with the product. If you've been thinking about getting a VPN, now is the perfect opportunity with NordVPN. Simply use the link provided in the description down below, or use code nordvpn.com/ReeceCaruso to sign up today. Thanks again to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. As a recap for anyone who doesn't already know, Australia employs a progressive bracket system for taxation. This means that as your income passes designated thresholds, the tax rate per dollar increases accordingly. In simple terms, think of paying taxes like climbing a ladder. When you earn more money, you climb higher on the tax ladder. Each step of the ladder has its own tax rate. So as you climb, you have to pay the tax that's owed on each step before you move up to the next one. And when you reach a higher step, you pay a higher tax rate for the money you earn while you're on that step. Now, the current brackets look like this. Feel free to pause and let it sink in if you need to. Stages 1 and 2 of the tax reforms primarily focused on providing offsets for both lower and middle income earners. Stage 1 saw the increase of the threshold for the 37% tax bracket, where it went from $87,000 all the way up to $90,000. And it also introduced something called the low middle income tax offset. I believe that's what it was called, and that is no longer in effect. Stage 2 included changes that assisted both low and middle income earners as well, where it changed the 32.5% tax bracket or threshold from $37,000 all the way up to $45,000. But it also included an increase to the 37% threshold as well, all the way now from $90,000 up to $120,000. In contrast, stage 3 was originally aimed to benefit those at the very top of the earnings spectrum. And there were 3 key changes that were going to come into play. The first being that they were going to completely abolish the 37% tax bracket. So that's earning anything between $120,000 all the way up to $180,000. They then were going to extend this new bracket, which I'll touch on in just one moment, but the cap of this bracket was now going to sit at $200,000. So increasing it up to 200 from 180. And finally, and the most significant out of all of this was it was just going to be one bracket now from $45,000 of earnings all the way up to $200,000 of earnings. And they were just going to tax it at a flat rate of 30%, meaning the 32.5% bracket was basically changed significantly. And like I said just before, the 37% bracket was completely gone. With the obvious payoff being anyone earning more than $45,000 in a year would have extra dollars in their bank account come tax time or each pay cycle basically, because they would be taxed less. Not to mention those earning closer to that $200,000 mark would be set to benefit quite significantly. Now for the shakeup. So since the proposal was originally made, the government has decided to revise stage 3, and it's aimed at providing further assistance to those on lower incomes again. One of the key differences is that they are going to maintain 4 tax brackets instead of reducing it to 3. The percentages within the lower tiered bracket experience a slight adjustment, and the upper limit for the highest bracket, which was originally going to be $200,000, is now being reduced to a measly $190,000. Kind of hard to feel sad for people earning $190,000, but the news has been posting this everywhere, and that's currently what they're scrutinizing. And for those interested, I've linked this handy calculator in the description down below that can be used to see how the tax cuts will affect your take-home pay, with the sweet spot looking like it's going to be for those earning between $50,000 and $150,000 instead of the original $200,000 mark being the best and most optimal savings rate. And I want to emphasize that those earning more than $150,000 a year will still see a benefit from this. It will just not be as significant as the original plan. From my perspective, our tax brackets require ongoing scrutiny and should be adjusted as needed to match economic realities rather than keeping them the same for too long. While the updated stage 3 tax changes may not meet everyone's expectations, it does show the importance of being flexible when it comes to fiscal policy and where you put your vote. Things change, and it's something that I've seen a lot of people saying broken promises, broken promises, broken promises to this government. It was a Liberal proposal and the Labor government took it on as part of their campaign. Changing it, I personally don't believe is the worst thing in the world. If not, it shows a bit of maturity and responsibility from their end to adjust it as required. As someone who is currently in the top earning bracket, I get that things change, and I totally understand where this approach has come from, even if it affects me negatively. Decisions made will never suit every single person, and the way that I look at it is that I never had this money that I'm going to have additional come July 1st when these changes roll into effect. So ultimately, having a bit more in my pocket each payday is somewhat of a win. I do believe that our tax brackets should be indexed to inflation and not just be a one-off adjustment that then doesn't get touched or looked at for the years to come, but that's a discussion for another video. In the grand scheme of things, I'm curious to see if these adjustments jeopardize the current government's hold on our nation, as it's being reported that they have failed to deliver on a promise. Nonetheless, I am excited to see my take-home pay rise, and I am sure we can all agree that this is definitely going to provide some much needed relief amidst the high cost of living we are all experiencing. And that is where I'm going to leave you today. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you sign up to that sponsor down below, nordvpn.com/ReesCaruso. I love saying that. What a cool link to go and use. I'm going to stop selling you there. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it was insightful. I hope you learned something. And if you did, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button down below. It really helps the channel grow, and I really appreciate the support. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.